Warning, this video contains opinions, old gameplay footage, and a lot of references to kindly key in. Viewer discretion advised. While 2019 was the year Bear Alpha first released, one could argue that 2020 was the year Bear Alpha really became its own unique thing. From heaps of events, story-related badges, and of course a bunch of skins, it really felt like Bear was at an all-time high with 2020, even though that was when the game started to lose its players. And because of this, I've decided that since 2020 introduced so many good skins, and also because of how good the 2019 skins ranking video did, that I would rank every single 2020 skin in Bear Alpha. But first, here are some ground rules. Rule 1. Only skins that were released during 2020 will be counted. This is a fairly obvious one, but this also extends to skins that were first created at 2020 but weren't actually implemented into the game. And same applies to developer skins, so Rubber Mole also does not count. Rule 2. Only classic versions of 2020 skins will be included. This is because the option for deluxe skins didn't exist until 2023, and the deluxe versions of these skins were also implemented around that point. Plus, if I'm being real, like 90% of deluxe skins are just better versions of their classic counterparts, so I feel like it'd be unfair to include them and watch them steal all the top spots. Rule 3. Skins that got asset remakes will be counted as both the original and the remake, with both versions sharing the same spot. If you don't know, plenty of Bear skins back then would use Club Penguin assets, whether it be a hat, clothes, whatever. However, Cheetah Man decided this was no longer acceptable around 2022, and so plenty of these skins received asset renovations, featuring original assets. And while you could argue that these asset renovations were first created around 2022, 2023, they're basically the same skin but with slightly different assets, so I think it's best that I just include them anyways, unless I have vastly different opinions on the original versus the remake, which unlike in 2019, Cinco de Mayo, didn't happen this time. So with those rules out of the way, I'm gonna stop stalling, let's get into the video, starting with last place. Disappointment in the game of life. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice that unlike 2019, which had a grand total of 59 skins, 2020 only has 25 skins. This doesn't seem like that much, but 2020 makes up for it for having a much higher standard of quality for its skins. And this can immediately be seen with how there are no F tier or D tier skins, as the worst 2020 skin in my opinion is only a C tier skin. C tier is for skins that I would just consider to be okay. Not bad, but not good either. A perfect balance, if you will. And so, we start 25th place with First Anniversary. Perhaps I'm biased because this is one of the only skins that I don't have in the game, but honestly, this is a really boring skin, at least in comparison to other 2020 skins. I mean, it's just Bear in a party hat. And I know some might consider this hypocritical considering how I put Alpha Bear, which is also just a bear in a party hat, pretty high up in the 2019 skins ranking, but there's a difference. You get Alpha Bear for free, and it's meant to represent how Bear Alpha is Bear Alpha eternally. This, however, is genuinely an incredibly rare skin. You want to know when this skin first released? Well, 2020. You want to know the last time it came back? Never! This skin went on sale once in May of 2020 and has never returned since. And this wouldn't be so bad if the skin actually had a unique design, but no. This skin doesn't have a cool design to make up for its rarity, so unlike other skins where I'm like, okay, it's annoying this hasn't come back, but it looks cool, so that's nice. First Anniversary just doesn't have this, and for that reason, I can't give it the same praise. And I know what some of you are saying, well actually, Enso Ninja, First Anniversary hasn't returned because it serves as a reminder that people played the game on the first anniversary. But how often do you see someone using First Anniversary? And unlike every other anniversary skin, which has a unique design and just looks cool, First Anniversary isn't interesting enough to warrant this. So overall, even though the design isn't anything bad, it's also not anything special. The only thing I can really say that I like is that the blue and green on the skin's hat looks really good. But aside from that, First Anniversary is my least favorite 2020 skin, and it's not close. unlike First Anniversary, who I have personal beef with, second to last place goes to a skin that I just don't care that much for, that being Glitch. Now, Glitch Bear, despite not being incredibly well made, still has a unique enough design. It doesn't use the regular bear face, instead having a face that kinda reminds me of Venom for some reason. And that is cool and all, but it is still bear but fully recolored dark, and not that cool shade of darkish blue like with Shadow, just straight up null, void. And for that reason, compared to a lot of the other skins in this list, I think Glitch placing low is perfectly fair. Then ending off C tier already is Celebration. I feel like out of all the 2020 skins, this is one of those that really shows its age, as again, it's a 2D drawn skin. Not many skins are like that, and while sometimes you'll get a really nicely drawn 2D drawn skin, I feel like this one is just drawn okay. The reason it's not any lower is because I do like the design a lot. It's super cute and definitely amongst the more wholesome looking skins in all of Bear Alpha. Though despite that, at the end of the day, it's far from my favorite, and so I think 23rd place is where it will sit for now. And we have left C tier and entered B tier. Yes, we are already getting into the good stuff. It took far longer for 2019, I must admit. So let's begin B tier with...
Yob! I hate it! I'm gonna buy it. I'm also going to equip it.
Fun fact, 8 different Bobs were first released in 2020. That is nearly a third of the skins released this year, so expect plenty of Bobs to dominate the rankings. With that being said, the lowest ranked one of the bunch, at least for me, is Yob. I mean, I still like it, Bobs are my favorite category of skins, but despite that, I feel like Yob just does less than the others. I mean, I like the blue color scheme, and the face is pretty horrifying. This man looks like he's never seen a dentist in his life. But as much as I hate to say it, this is yet another skin that suffers from me not having it. And this time, it's actually my fault. I had plenty of time to get this skin back in September of 2020, but instead of actually saving up for it, I instead decided to buy some cheaper skins, only for the skin to suddenly be removed when the Halloween 2020 update released. If we're being completely fair, I thought it was a permanent skin because I wasn't expecting it to leave the shop so abruptly, but still, my fault, not Yob's. Overall, Yob is still a funny Bob skin that I like a lot, but as far as Bobs go, this one is definitely my least favorite, though the fact that it is in B tier goes to show just how much I like Bobs. Spider-Pig
does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
Then in 21st place is Spider-Bear, and this skin gets immediate points, not because of its design, but for the simple fact that this was the first skin I bought in a shop. There's just something weirdly magical about buying something and using it, knowing you got it yourself, because at the time, all I had was Bear and Alpha Bear, and so to have something unique just felt really cool. And as far as skin designs go, I really like this one, because A, it's unique, and B, this is just genuinely among the most cursed skins in the entire Bear series. Like, bro, I remember Kindly Kian in his Bear videos had an actual visceral reaction upon seeing this thing, and that goes to show that this skin succeeded at what it was doing, that being trying to be scary in its own way. I do have one complaint though, and it's that the walks for the skin kinda suck. And I mean, it wasn't really a fault of the creator, as back then every skin had to have 2 walks, but at the same time, I feel like more could have been done with the walks of this skin. The skin kinda just goes left and goes right without much bending in the legs, and for that reason, it makes the skin look kinda stiff. Despite that though, I do care a lot about nostalgia, and Spider-Bear is a very nostalgic skin for me, both for watching it in Kindly Kian's video and buying it in the shop. Spider-Bear's a skin I'll always have a soft spot for. Then next up goes to Club Bear, and I'll admit, even though Club Bear is far from my favorite 2020 skin, I think it's fair to say that it does a perfect job being what it's meant to be. I mean, it's Bear, but designed like how a character from Club Penguin would, and in that regard, this is a very charming design, with the generally round and chubby proportions, and also how the skin waddles when it walks, which despite not being a penguin is a really nice way to communicate Club Penguin in the design. Overall, this is a really nice skin, and although it's not my favorite, I can recognize that it's still really good.
Prepare to die.
Then next up is Sam, which for the longest time was the most expensive skin in the game at 95,000 quids. Are you joking me? Most people don't have that kind of money. But regardless, I still think Sam is cool. Despite being the default skin of Sam, which is weird knowing that Little Santa Sam and El Sam the Santa were released before it, by the way, it's got some cool effects in games, such as the particles and especially the voice lines. This skin's voice lines are so cool, with iconic lines like,
"Prepare to die. You are nothing."
And the moment you hear that, you go, oh crap, this guy's a sweat. Or there's some random guy who used exploits to go AFK that auto-teleports them to the end of the obby so they could get enough quids to buy Sam, no effort needed. I know you people exist, I see you regularly, and you will receive payment for your crimes. Maybe. Anyways, Sam is cool and a classic skin, even if I find it very overpriced.
Yes.
And ending off B tier is Special Guest. I will say I really like the colors of this one. The bright, vibrant blue, which admittedly is a thing only the current design has, but it doesn't really matter that much, really makes the skin stand out. And similarly to Cranberry, I like how this skin is based off of a real person, that being Tyler the Creator, when he said, yes. Aside from that, I also really like the theme this skin has. It's actually low-key a bop, dude. Actually, it's low-key so good. And so, what are my thoughts on Special Guest overall?
Yes. Commando Bear. He's so strong. I kind of love it.
And with that, we have left B tier and entered A tier. Yes, we've only gone through 8 skins and we're already in A tier. Goes to show how good 2020 skins are, isn't it? Starting with Commando Bear. I'm pretty fond of Commando Bear overall because first things first, he's so strong! This is the first skin to use the buff type of body shape for bear skins. Not many others have done this since, which I find pretty interesting because honestly, skins with this shape tend to be really good. For example, Hugefoot. But we're not talking about Hugefoot right now, maybe later. Anyways, Commando Bear overall is a really nice looking skin, from the face paint the skin has, to the tracksuit pants, boots, and the gun that literally shoots when it walks. This skin is just awesome. And even if it's not my favorite skin, I still really like it. By the way, while I was collecting images for Commando, I found this comment saying that no one cares about Commando. And you, sir, if you're watching this, are wrong. I care for Commando. Someone else watching cares for Commando. All of us care for Commando. Anyways, next skin.
Do what you want, cause a pirate lives free. You are a pirate. Yeah.
Then the next of many bobs on this list is Hob. Now, I like myself a pirate-themed skin, and what do you know, Hob at the time was the closest thing to one of those. I know technically there's nothing piratey on the skin, but I'm pretty sure the skin is partially based off the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob SquarePants, so it counts. Plus the deluxe version has a pirate hat, so yeah, like I said, it counts. Overall, I really like Hob, though despite that, there are still bobs I like better. And securing a spot in the top 15 is one of my favorite doggle skins, Katten. Katten is also the only doggle skin of 2020, so that's pretty neat as well. Overall, I like the design of this guy with the freakish smile, the blue and yellow color scheme, the long spindly proportions, and of course those beady eyes that stare into your soul. Pretty much every doggle skin is a freak in its own way, and this is no exception, so overall, I like Katten a lot. Hello lads, my name is Job. I think you guys need a job. While you master all these maps, I will stop you in your tracks. Then next bob on the list is Job, and I like this guy a lot as well. From the big long nose to the beady eyes and weirdly big lips, along with the green color scheme, this is an incredibly funny skin, especially with the random image of Wallace with LG Life's Good on the back. But come on, you guys know the main reason I like this skin. I don't know what prompted me to do this, but around February 2026, I decided to make a song about Job, which goes like, hello lads, my name is Job. I think you guys need a job. Again, I don't know why I created this, especially since Job is far from my favorite Bob, but I did, and somehow it's increased my appreciation of this random skin. So overall, Job is pretty cool. After all, my quote is Center Plus.
It's bear time! And this time, I guess Bear has kind of been working out.
Oh, hi. It's me, Baldy. Can you tell me what Bear plus Bob equals? 3? The actual answer is Bear. Bear was one of quite a few skins that gets 2 skins and merges them into one. Those, of course, being Bear and Bob, turning into this incredible amalgamation. Aside from that, there's not really much I could say. I mean, Bear is just a good and unique skin. I guess I could mention that it's one of the more expensive Bobs at 3,500 quids, and used to be a pretty rare sight in lobbies until it got added back as a permanent skin. Hashtag RIP Bear, hashtag Bear deserved better. In all seriousness, I think Bear fits pretty well as a shop skin, even if it means people technically wasted their votes on Bear in the 2024 Bob election.
Leaves, apple, kite, house, nest, egg, 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 egg. Where's the 3 eggs? Toilet.
And in 12th place, we have a skin that was released in a very special occasion, that being when Bear was picked for the 2020 Roblox Egg Hunt. It's Egglord, the only Lord of 2020. Now, Egglord has a fairly simple design, just like Cheeselord. I mean, it uses the same base, but with a bit of different coloring. However, what I really like is that the eggs that circle around the skin are all different colors. It adds color to an otherwise colorless skin. And that's a detail I can really appreciate. W Egglord.
What are you? Thob? You are not even a bear!
And the next Bob skin on the list is Fob. I have a funny story for Fob. So when I first saw this skin in a Kindly Kian video, I didn't know where the face came from, but I had an idea. I thought Fob had the face of Gene from the Emoji Movie. It turned out I was wrong though, and it was actually a face from a character in Bananas in Pajamas, which honestly is a much better reference than a very unpopular movie. Overall, I do like Fob quite a lot. The yellow color scheme, the funny looking face. He just looks like he's like, "Hi, how are ya?" And for that reason, I like Fob a lot. I said that twice in a row, didn't I? Anyways, we have now entered the top 10 of 2020 skins. These 10 soar above the rest, even though we're still in A tier for some of these. So allow me to start with 10th place.
My name's Atrocity, I'm burned to a crisp. My name's Atrocity, I'm here to eat your skin.
Afrocity. And all I'm saying is, if I can't have Atrocity himself, then fine, I'll settle with the version with the funky hairstyle. Now, as far as design goes, Afrocity isn't anything crazy. I mean, it's in the name. Atrocity, but with hair. However, I do like how Afrocity has a different color scheme than Atrocity, where instead of being orange with green and purple walks, instead Afrocity over here is red with blue and gray walks. That's something pretty cool, and I like that little bit of attention to detail, even if it's nothing incredible, like I said. What is incredible, though, is how Afrocity doesn't have the stray pixels Atrocity has. They've been eradicated. Thank you, Macabre Roses, you legend. Now, this skin would have placed far lower if it weren't for one simple thing. You see, back then, this was a very rare skin. It released once in 2020 and didn't come back for years. And this would be annoying if it weren't for the fact that Afrocity actually returned this year, 2026, on the 7th anniversary event as a permanent skin. Hashtag RIP Afrocity, hashtag Afrocity deserved better. Just kidding, now Afrocity can actually be used by people who want it instead of being gatekept by a bunch of rarity-hungry players. I know not all Afrocity owners are like this, but some very clearly were. Overall, I like Afrocity a lot. I mean, it's basically a funnier take on Atrocity. In fact, I might actually like this skin more than Atrocity, which is saying a lot. Goes to show what happens when you make a skin unobtainable to 99% of the fan base.
You are the 1,000th visitor. Come here
To win a prize.
And ending off A tier is one of the most iconic skins of all time, Molebear. Molebear, again, is a very popular skin, and honestly, I think it's for good reason. This skin is just an incredibly creative design, with it effectively being this mess of different pictures to form one skin, and yet despite that, it's a fully cohesive design, with the eyes, lips, hands, legs. It looks unique, and yet it also feels very appropriate for its theming. But come on, we all know the other reason the skin is high up, the voice lines. The voice lines are the main attraction of the skin. If you don't like the voice lines, you don't like the skin. But thankfully, Molebear might have some of the best voice lines in the whole series. Its voice lines are really cool, with the voice constantly changing, that little noise it makes every time a voice line's about to start. Overall, Molebear is just a really cool skin. And the fact that it went unobtainable because Roblox deleted Thomas Racing, an integral part to the quest, is so sad to me. And I know it was technically promised that Molebear is coming back, but honestly, considering the fact that that promise was made back in 2022, I kinda doubt it. But still, Molebear is a great skin, and I doubt that's an opinion that'll ever change. But although Molebear is great, it unfortunately just barely misses out on the top 8 of skins, aka S tier. These skins are the best of the bunch, especially amongst 2020 skins of their kind, so allow me to get into 8th place.
Believe me, my friend, I too have spent many nights trying to drown my sorrows in guacamole.
Cinco de Sam. Or Samco de Mayo, I don't know, just call him whatever you want. I'll call him Cinco de Sam personally. Anyways, Cinco de Sam is one of many Cinco de Mayo skins, and weirdly enough, the only one released in 2020. Some people may say that Cinco de Mayo should count, however, it released on the 31st of December 2019, so it doesn't count. Except in some time zones. Anyways, we're talking about Cinco de Sam here. Despite technically just being a teddy bear in some Cinco de Mayo themed clothing, I think Cinco de Sam just looks really cool in it. I mean, the sombrero of course looks really nice, but I'm also a fan of the color scheme on the poncho. Unlike Cinco de Mayo, this skin actually looks really good with the green, orange, and yellow. But of course the main attraction to this skin is the theme. I mean, the theme is just so iconic if you ask me. I mean, sometimes it can come across as a straight up jump scare when you hear it in game from how sudden it is. So overall, Cinco de Sam is just a really good skin and worthy of S tier.
Collect my pages, collect my circus, buy my pages, spend finance and furniture.
7th place goes to Slender Bear, and for a 2D drawn skin, this is clean. Most 2D drawn skins are, well, 2D drawn, but this feels like one that actually uses this fact to its advantage. Just something about the way it's drawn complements its eeriness to me. From the shading on its face that kinda looks like a nose but also doesn't really, to the abundance of black giving the skin this shadowy look, and just generally the way it's drawn looks so painted to me, which helps it blend in with the darkness in a way that looks really cool. And by the way, this skin has a theme, because why not at this point? Overall, Slender Bear is just such a cool and underrated skin. I think it's among the best 2020 has to offer. Then next up is everyone's favorite, Rob. Now I have a lot of nostalgic memories for this pink smiling Bob. You see, even though it was sad that I wasn't able to buy Yob before it went off sale, on the bright side I got Rob. And I remember spending ages, hours, grinding to 6,666 quid so I could buy Rob. And the feeling of saving up for that long to finally buy Rob was glorious. I'll always hold that memory of me when playing Bear, and there's another reason why the years 2020 and 2021, despite 2021 not adding a single new skin to Bear, are among the most nostalgic years of the game for me. And Rob as a design is really cool too, with it effectively being Bob's opposite. Instead of Bob being all dark and scary, Rob over here is bright and not scary, in a good way. Overall, I think Rob being among the most popular Bob skins is for a good reason, because Rob is great. And we have now entered the top 5 2020 skins. Place your bets for who you think will win, because 5th place goes to In Anemoia, you don't see a thing.
No.
Not while Ito is plotting up a scheme. Ito, another one of the most iconic skins. I'm starting to realize that Papa Doomsday is just very good at making well-known skins. Anyways, Ito is just such a cool and creative idea for a skin. Basically, Ito over here is based off of Spiral Girl, which is a work of Junji Ito's, aka this thing. And that can very clearly be seen on the design of Ito. First things first, the skin is fully black and white, just like Spiral Girl in the manga. Second things second, the skin has a spiral where an eye socket should be. That combined with the tendrils and the rotting nature of the skin combine to make an incredibly unsettling and grotesque design. Even to this day, with other scary skins, I think Ito could stand amongst them as among the spookiest looking ones of the bunch. And I know what you're saying, but you don't have this skin. Because yes, Ito is among the 5 skins in the game that I don't own, but honestly, Ito is just such a cool design that this time I don't really care, though the skin should absolutely return, because what do you mean you just gave Ito the coolest deluxe version ever and don't bring it back? Like, come on. Overall, even though Ito has kind of been outclassed by Visionary, which is basically Ito but French, I still think that Ito stands out as one of the coolest designs Bear has had back then and of course to this day. My name's Zob, I'm a stony bob, but compared to me, you were such a slob, so dang ugly. While the last few skins I covered are definitely good skins in their own ways, these next 4, man, these are some good skins. I would consider these to be top 10 bear skins of all time, which should definitely go to show just how amazing 2020 skins were, for the most part. So, 4th place goes to the one and only Zob. For the longest time, I didn't have Zob due to it releasing before I started playing the game. However, out of all the skins I didn't have at the time, this was the one I wanted the most. It was just an incredibly funny and cool looking skin to me, and for that reason, I really wanted it. So when people finally voted Zob in the 2026 Bob election, I was overjoyed to finally get to use this guy and see if it was as good as I thought it was. And it was as good as I thought it was, because man, this is such a nice skin. I just love how random everything about it is. It's Bob, but grey and with a face that resembles that of George Michael. And on top of that, it's just made of stone for some reason. This skin is really unique looking and above all, really funny looking, and I just love that in a skin. I love a skin that doesn't even try to be serious whatsoever, and Zob is one of those. So even if it's not incredibly well made, I still adore it, so it deserves 4th place. But 3rd place is a skin that I like even more, that being
Vector! That's me.
With both direction and magnitude, Vector gets 3rd place. You might remember how in my 2019 skins ranking video, how I mentioned that Macabre Roses carried 2019 with her super consistently good skins. Well, Test Gaming 9, or as he's known now, Excruciatingly, carried 2020, as all 3 of the skins he made this year just so happened to be the ones in the top 3. Let that sink in. So what makes Vector worthy of the bronze medal, you may ask? Oh, I don't know, because the design is incredibly cool. First things first, Vector is part of a subsection of bear skins known as night bears. These are basically bears but more deformed and with the notable trait of having multiple little pinpricks of light for eyes. And despite Vector technically being the least deformed of the night bears, I still love the way this skin looks. From the shade of black used on the skin making it look like some Lord of the Shadows, to the red eyes that stand out against the darkness of the skin, and the 4 arms, plus the black orbs, there is just so much to this skin that all looks really nice and forms a really cool design. This skin almost looks like a fallen angel of sorts with the way it just poses and looks, which is very appropriate considering the fact that this skin grows angel wings in its boss fight. Yes, Vector has its own boss fight. I don't know about you, but I don't think many skins get boss fights, so to see Vector get one just goes to show how good this skin was to the point where it deserved one. So yeah, Vector picks up the bronze medal, but which skin will pick up the silver medal? Let's see. What's better than Vector? How about Vector with 2 heads, aka Unwell? I feel like Unwell is one of the most well-known secret badge skins in the game, and it's for a really good reason. First things first, the quest for this skin is really good. An issue I have with many badge quests in Bear Alpha is the simple fact that there's really no way for a player to find most of them naturally, and so usually they'll have to resort to using guides. Unwell is an exception though. First things first, the area at the start of the quest feels like something you can naturally stumble upon as there are hints as to where it is. And then as for the other parts of the quest, while those aren't particularly self-explanatory, they're often marked by little areas that look off, and therefore a player might naturally want to check there. Overall, the quest for Unwell is really cool, but what about the skin itself? Well, I'm pleased to announce that Unwell is among my favorite skins in the entire game, with it being my second favorite overall. Yes, out of hundreds upon hundreds of bear skins, Unwell gets second, and it's for a good reason. This skin just looks really cool. From the glowing dots that line the skin from the eyes to the body, to the deep red color that makes up this skin's, well, skin, to the second head protruding out of this skin's left arm. Everything about this skin's design combines to make it look like an absolute anomaly. Whereas Vector's design brings to mind a fallen angel, Unwell is the opposite. It looks like something demonic. And that can be confirmed in the skin's lore, where in the suboptimal station, aka SOS, Sam encountered Unwell, Unwell possessed Sam, and then used Sam's body to kill a bunch of innocent survivors. So overall, Unwell is a phenomenal skin. From its awesome design, cool lore, and epic badge quest, Unwell still stands today as among the best skins of all time. But it's not the best. It's time for the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the number one 2020 skin of all time. And this isn't just my number one 2020 skin, this is my number one skin of all time, and I bet plenty of you already know what it is, so allow me to get into number one. Bear is a franchise with hundreds upon hundreds of skins, and for that reason, there's bound to be one that appeals to each person most of all. And for me, that skin is Bog. I remember the very first day I played Bear. Back in September of 2020, I checked the shop to see what skins were there, and I was surprised to see that some of the Bobs in Kindly Kian's videos weren't available anymore. But one of the few that still was Bog. I didn't think much of it, but I did notice that the skin was cheaper, so I considered buying it early. And eventually, I did have enough money to buy the skin, and I wasn't sure what to expect. The icon showed an egg with Bob's face with no legs, and so I assumed that potentially the skin would roll around. So when I first got to be Bear as Bog and saw that it just miraculously had a pair of legs, I immediately knew that this would be my favorite skin that very day. And sure enough, 2020 me was right, because after all of these years of seeing new, high-quality skins, my number one favorite has yet to change. Bog is just everything I could ever want in a skin. First things first, the skin is goofy, and I like it when skins don't try to be scary or serious. This excellent fellow over here just looks like he's having a fun time, and I can appreciate that. And perhaps my favorite aspect of the skin is the face. The face is just perfection. If you were to ask me to look for the word goofy in a dictionary, I wouldn't pull out a dictionary. I'd pull out a picture of this skin's face. I love a skin that just embodies goofiness, and that is exactly what Bog is. And in a weird way, this skin kind of became the mascot of my channel. Nowadays, pretty much everyone associates the skin Bog with me, to the point where on the Bear Discord, oftentimes when people make fan art of Bog, they'll usually ping me because, well, Bog reminds them of me. And for that reason, Bog will always be special to me, because no other character really in fiction has this sort of connection that I've established with that character. And for that reason, I think it's safe to say that Bog will always be my favorite skin in all of Bear Alpha. And in 2020, since that's what this video is all about. I mean, when Bog got a deluxe remake, all the developers did was just make the skin purple. And if you ask me, when a deluxe remake barely changes, chances are that's because the original was perfection. And I know not many people are going to agree with this opinion, and that's perfectly fine. As long as your favorite skin is one that you feel connected with, then that's perfectly okay and something that should be supported and appreciated. And to those who are personally angry that I put Bog at the top, why would you be angry when he's always been watching? If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Just as a little recap,
how I felt when my mom died versus how I felt when I discovered weed. How I felt when my mom died versus how I felt when I discovered weed.
It's been a long day. It's run without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when it's the way you want it.
How I felt when my mom died versus how I felt when I discovered weed.
It's been a long day. It's run without you, my friend. Can I tell you all about it when it's the way you want it?
Wait! What?
You guys, delay here, so we couldn't get an intro done in time. So wait for 26B. Okay.
I have a theme song for
PFCI 26.
You're in punishment. You can't hide forever, bozo.
right, mate. Let's be full of joy and whimsy.
Reaction.
Okay, that's enough. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was cringe.
How I felt when my mom died versus how I felt when I discovered weed.
It's been a long day. This one without you, my friend. Can I tell you all about it when it's the way you want it?
Girl, my parents are like so awesome. Like, don't even get me started. Like, my dad is so rich and stuff and buys me like everything I want. And my mom, oh my gosh, my mom is so cool. She always finds me and my girlies tickets to see shows with my dad. And like, gosh, they're so rough on stage, it like scares everyone else. You can't tell if they're married for the benefits or they just love each other that much. I just wish they were nicer about my boyfriend though, because they're like so very uncool about him and I just don't get why. Like, I don't know why they just can't see him like how I see him. Like, his little beefs and boobs, just like so cute. Huh? What was that, Carla?
I'm gonna euthanize you like a damn
Oh yeah, of course, whatever. But like, get this. So basically...
Well, seeing as you can't afford rent this month, you can make it up to me by painting the fence in front. But you have to make sure it dries each time before continuing. Unless you want something bad to happen.
Whether we like it or not, we gotta wait until it dries. That's the only way we're gonna know how we do.
It's fine.
There's literally no way they'd fall for that, you know.
Anyway, that's Yo-Yo Cone. What do you think?
Hey, you bum.
hey,
so it's
Blaine.
only a problem when
What's up?
I...
Shove off the goddamn machine.